So the plot actually progressed with fan service. Wow, that bath scene and the scene where Kotori takes off Kuroha's shirt, that actually progressed the plot, and that is really shocking. I want to be honest here. The entire bath scene was there to progress the plot with Hatsuna and get to see her ability and confirm that she has a regeneration ability to be able to survive. And at the same time, the entire scene where Kotori undoes Kuroha's shirt, it was there to reveal that Kuroha finally is Kuroneko, and Murakami finally sees that, and now he can put it to rest if Kuroha is his childhood friend. So the two fan service scenes of this episode progress the plot. And I'm going to tell you, this is the type of fan service I like. Honestly, because it actually did progress the plot. Even though I prefer no fan service, it still progressed the plot, and so I cannot down it for that. Speaking of fan service, there was a lot of censors in this episode. Not just on the bath scene or Kuroha's shirt undo, but there was a scene to when you saw Hatsuna repairing herself, or you saw her healing. It was freaking marked out with nothing but steam and white blades of light or whatever all on the screen. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is she like freaking just assimilating? Is she going down and breaking down into mush like we saw other people do? That's what I thought was happening to Hatsuna at the beginning part of this episode, because there was just nothing but white all around her. This is something I cannot stand. Fucking censors, man. I mean, seriously, I understand it's probably violent, but I mean, seriously, you don't have to censor every little thing. I understand the fan service, but why do you have to censor, you know, Hatsune repairing herself and putting herself back together? That just kind of pisses me off. I want to be honest here. Now, besides that, okay, besides the censors, besides the fan service, there was a lot of reveals. So now Murakami knows who Kuroha is. He 100% knows that Kuroha is his childhood friend, and he had a little bit of a heart-touching moment with her at the end of this episode with the ending credits, and it was awesome getting to see him. And all of a sudden, you have epic music coming in, you see a chopper coming in down there on the observatory, and then you see them run inside the observatory, and you see this strike of lightning come in, and Valkyrie Mako arrives in the building. So, Mako, Valkyrie's name, Mako. She has two extreme personalities, as we can see from this episode. She has, I want to kill anyone in my path, I don't care. She's like, I love you, Ichijiku, and all that. Hopefully I said his name correct. So pretty much, it just shows you she had a complete extreme change in personality. She's completely mentally unstable. And that's what we could see from Mako's character. And at the same time, I think like this professor that was Mako was hugging, I think that is the father of Mako. The reason why I say this is because they both have the same hair. They look the same with their hair color and all that, and it looks like most likely the way Mako is hugging him, it looked like, you know, something a daughter would do to a father, and it kind of reminds me of how the end of Elven Lied ended, so I think that's most likely what's going on here. Either way, we find out this episode that Mako has 8 different magics she can use with her abilities, okay? So we get 2 abilities revealed this episode. We have Teleportation right at the end, and then we have the Antimatter. So, Mako can use Antimatter. That is unfucking believable. Antimatter. That is a scary-ass power. You want to know why it's scary? It's not just because of what it is and what damage she caused that entire mountain, but she did not overload her harness after she used that one form of magic. You would think a harness would get overloaded, and she did not overload from that. So imagine what she could possibly do if she wanted to go all out until her harness overloaded. Yeah, now, judging by what we saw with the other witches all in the ground cut up and all that, how we saw Hatsuna had a cut slash all over, I want to take a quick guess and most likely say that Mako has some form of slice ability, something to do with swords, or maybe she can control wind or something and cut people in half. Maybe that's one of her powers, we'll find out in the future. A lot of different reveals, a lot of plot packed into this episode, and seriously, the plot progressed freaking fast. Now, from last episode, a lot of people told me that they skipped over an entire arc that was supposed to focus on Kana. Now, I have not read that arc, I have not read the manga, I don't know what they skipped, and honestly, I cannot really tell they skipped an arc. I want to be honest here, as an anime-only watcher, I would have not known they skipped an arc unless everybody said something, and they did. So, now I know they skipped an arc, and I plan on going back eventually to read that arc to see exactly what they skipped and why they would skip such a, I'm guessing, a vital arc, because everybody told me that was a really good arc. Now, this episode, animation-wise, animation was really good. I loved the music, especially the ending scene with the music. It really ramped up the tension, and all of a sudden it goes into a cliffhanger, and it fucking bitch slaps me once again. I cannot stand that crap so much. I really can't. So, anyways, okay? So, we find out Mako is evil, but at the same time, she's nice at the same time. It seems like Ichiku actually has met the professor, the scientist professor that's currently trying to make the pills at the moment, and it seems like they've had a past backstory together. It seems like Mako and Kuroha have met each other in the past. That's what we could see from the ending of this episode, because you can clearly see Mako knows who Kuroha is. And so, since they look so similar, I've already come up with theories saying most likely they're either the same part beings, or at the same time they're probably twin sisters from the same father. Judging by the way it looks, it might be that Kuroha could be the daughter of Ichiku. So, I mean, think about that right quick. I mean, if that is true, that would be kind of fucked up. The father just putting freaking genetic manipulation and torturing his freaking daughters into experimentation. That'd be really, really fucked up. So, either way, I liked this episode. It was a good episode. It was really sad getting that scene where all the witches were deciding if they wanted to, which one of them would live. And pretty much you had Cosme at the end, was the one that didn't say nothing, but at the same time she realized that she'd rather live her week to the fullest instead of letting everybody die for her. So I love the way the ending scene of this episode was. It was really emotional and sad, and at the same time, it really touched the feelings because all these witches really care about each other, and they're not willing to walk over anybody's corpses to be able to progress on another month or two. And so I like that a lot. I like that a lot, but I'll be honest, out of all those girls I would want to live would be Cosme. She's the only girl I would want to live. Continue on if they had to all die. If they literally had to die and I knew they were going to die, I'd rather Cosme live than any other character, because she's had a lot more character development, and I care a lot more about her character than any other character. I know all the other characters good, I love all the other characters, but I care about Cosme a lot more, the way she's acted, and the way she's helped this entire series already. So, let's bring up something else before I wrap this up. Kojiri uses her teleportation this episode, which is nothing new. We've seen her use teleportation, but what is shocking is we find out that her teleportation cannot, transport kinetic energy. So when she transported in Murakami's place to where he was falling, thank God that kinetic energy also does not transfer, or Kojiri would have just smashed her brains all over to the ground, and Murakami would have been fine. And so right there, it could have easily killed one or the other if, kinetic energy would have transferred to Murakami still. So, either way, it could have ended badly if that could have happened. So right there, just leaving it on that note, we could have had a main character death this episode if it would have went like that. And actually, I was not even thinking about that until Murakami brought it up. So, smart main character. So anyways, everybody, I love you all so much. Please be safe. Tell me your favorite moments of this episode. What was your favorite moment of the episode? Do you feel like there's going to be a major character death next episode? Let me know in the comments below. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.